I'll never forget that night. The wind was so cold it felt like it could freeze the very blood in your veins. I had been walking through the forest, looking for some wild fruit to bring home, when I heard voices, low and soft, like whispers woven into the wind. At first, I thought it was just the trees creaking, but as I ventured deeper, the voices grew clearer. They weren't from any ordinary people, that much I knew. The air felt thick, almost like it was alive with something old and ancient. My heart pounded in my chest as I followed the sounds, unsure of what I was about to find. I finally came upon a clearing where 3 women stood in a circle. They were strange, dressed in rags that shimmered in the moonlight, their eyes glowing with an eerie light. I knew instantly they weren't like anyone I had ever seen. The first woman's voice was the one I had heard before, now it was louder, almost like a song that beckoned me closer. "Come," she called, her voice rich with an unspoken promise. "Come and see the truth." I froze in place, unsure whether to run or stay. But something kept me rooted to the spot, like the earth itself was holding me there. Then, one of the women turned to me, her face pale, like the moon itself had kissed her skin. "You seek what you should not seek," she said. "But now you are here. You cannot turn back." The other 2 witches began to move in a slow, deliberate dance, their arms stretching wide, and the night seemed to shift, as if it was a gigantic tapestry unfolding around us. It wasn't just a dance, they were weaving something, a pattern in the air, a labyrinth of signs and symbols that I could not comprehend. "Do you wish to know the secret?" the first witch asked, her voice smooth, almost like honey. She stepped toward me, and for a moment, I felt her eyes on my soul, as if they could see everything I had ever done. I didn't know how to answer. I wanted to run, to flee from the strange power that seemed to pulse around us, but my feet were frozen to the ground. "We can give you power," the second witch whispered. "You could transcend the limits of this world. But it will cost you." Suddenly, the world around me seemed to shift, like a kaleidoscope of images, memories of my life, flashing before me in vivid colors. The verdant forest, the warmth of the sun on my skin, the sound of my family laughing together, everything I had ever known became intertwined with the strange, ancient presence of these women. "You want to know?" the third witch said, her voice cool, like the night itself. "But some knowledge is too much for the mind to bear." Before I could respond, the witches vanished, leaving behind only a stillness that felt like it had been woven into the very air. I stood there, heart racing, trying to understand what had just happened. Had they truly been witches? Or had my mind simply delved too far into the labyrinth of the forest, imagining things that weren't real? When I finally made it home, the first thing I did was look at the night sky. The stars seemed different, brighter, clearer, as if the whole world had been reimagined before my eyes. To this day, I don't know what those women wanted from me or what would have happened had I stayed. But I do know this: some mysteries are best left untouched. The next time I wander into the forest, I will be careful where I tread, for there are things out there that beckon, things that may change you forever.